Do people need to detox?
That's a really good question. And I think it's one we're going to answer today. If you don't have your health, what do you have?
You are a functional medicine doctor.
Join us as we blend modern and ancient wisdoms to be well now.
Welcome to the Be Well Now podcast here with Dr. Ron Dumar. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Nick. I'm glad we're here again. I like this topic, detoxification. It's something that's actually been very prevalent over the, I'd say, past 7 years even.
I kind of wonder, is it a fad
About 5 years ago, I think it was really, really big.
So I guess, do you need to detox? If so, they walk into your clinic here in Heber City. What do you tell patients?
Well, usually I tell them at first, I actually resisted making a detox plan. I resisted creating a plan for patients because a few things. Number one, I wanted them to just understand how to support their organs that detoxify for them. And you actually have organs that detoxify for you all the time.
Who knew?
Constantly. So you're constantly performing a detox program if those organs are supported. However, sometimes those organs are not properly functioning, say as in like your digestion may get backed up. And if your digestion is backed up, it's possible that you have certain toxins or things that should be clearing and out of your body, but they're getting resorbed back into your body, and that can lead to other problems.
So what is detoxification then? I mean, I guess why would somebody want to do it?
So detoxification essentially is elimination. It's clearance of things from the body that aren't meant to support and benefit the body. So the liver will clear. It acts like a filter. It filters all the blood, and then it will dump and clear any toxins or contaminants, chemical products that you may have been exposed to. The idea is that it will clear that from your body so that it doesn't have a nefarious effect on the cells of your body. The kidney is a detoxification organ. It's a filter also. It filters especially the water in the body, and it makes sure that the minerals within the body are balanced appropriately for you. And so if your kidney or your liver aren't functioning properly, then you could say, okay, it's likely I need to do something to detox. Oftentimes detox is, by their nature, the word sounds maybe a little more aggressive to people, and detoxes frequently will become or be presented in a very aggressive way. So the programs that we supported or that we created here are more, they're more gentle. They can be, if you make them, they can be stages of progression of difficulty or of significance in the way that they detox. They can become more aggressive. But essentially the baseline that we've set our programs up is actually very gentle, because what we're wanting to do is support the organs and nourish the organs of detoxification. So think about how your body eliminates. That's maybe another word for detoxification is elimination. So we eliminate things through defecation. We go to the bathroom. We pass a stool, right? We eliminate things through urination. We eliminate things through perspiration, through sweating. And we also eliminate things through respiration, actually through breath work and through breathing. And so if you want to, I say to patients, if you want to initiate detoxification, then focus on those areas. How do I improve defecation? How do I improve or benefit urination? How do I improve perspiration, exercise, right? How do I improve respiration? So those 4 categories should be the hallmark and the focus, the very foundation of any detoxification pattern or process that you follow.
So when we talk about like toxic load, personal care items, who knows what chemicals are in our, household cleaning items.
We're exposed to every day.
Or we're exposed to every day, processed foods. What other things could we be aware of that might be contributing to a toxic load?
Other foods like water. Your water is something that you really need to be aware of. And the Environmental Working Group actually has an area code. And I just did this, Nick, and we need to do our next podcast on this, I think, because we did a podcast a little while ago on the water. And the research and the understanding that I had at the time was that everything that we have here in Heber, the water was good, and maybe we had a little runoff. I think we talked about fluoride possible from sprays and things like that from farms. But there are some other things that we need to address with that, I think, that will be pretty newsworthy for patients. And so water is actually an area, a significant place, because we should be consuming a more significant amount of water. We need it. Our bodies need water to survive. We're 70% water in our bodies in general. And so, yes, the water that you consume makes a huge difference to your health, and it can potentially expose you to a significant amount of chemicals.
We've talked about that before. We can get into that. But yeah, so water is so huge. There's so many questions I have.
Yeah, that's our another podcast.
You got me all thinking.
Yes.
But I mean, what are some things in terms of detoxing that you might think, I have a symptom, I need a detox? Because we're going to get into how to detox.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things is like, how do you know you need to detox, right? One of the things that you might be noticing is fatigue, like significant fatigue, or like you sleep. It doesn't matter how long I sleep for, and I still wake up tired, right? And you're pulling yourself through the day, even though you're getting copious amounts of sleep. So these things, this symptom alone is a pretty significant indicator that your body is not functioning, that there's some sort of a process that is withheld, the detoxification pathway is not performing well enough, and so you're probably getting resorption of chemicals that you otherwise would be passing through your body. So fatigue is a really, really big one to pay attention to. Digestion, constipation can be, right? But I would say constipation combined with fatigue, combined with low energy. And then also skin disorders, okay? Skin disorders are a significant contributor to, a significant sign that you do need to detox, right? So those are all things that if you're experiencing them, then you should really look at saying, okay, we need to start dialing in and saying, how do I clear my method or my modes of detoxification in the body?
All right. So what's the best detox diet? What would you recommend to folks?
Well, that's a really good question. I like that. Getting right to the point. So detoxification diet is, we have an herbal detox formula that I recommend for my patients. And we have a detox plan. It's a 21-day detox program that we offer for our patients. It's something simple that they can come and pick up, and we can discuss whether or not it will be right for them based on where they are. And it involves protein, because you need to make sure that you're getting a significant amount of protein, or enough, let's say a sufficient amount of protein in the body, because proteins are going to be broken down into amino acids. The amino acids are the building blocks for all of the directions, for all the hormones, for everything that's actually created in the body to be able to support a general natural healthy lifestyle. Okay, so a protein source, a vitamin source, making sure you have a really good quality vitamin, and minerals. You want to make sure you're getting minerals. Some people really like getting the sea salt minerals, or even just using a Celtic sea salt or a real salt, a mineral salt. We're lucky in this area because we have ancient salt remnants, sea salt remnants in Utah, believe it or not, which is fascinating because this area used to be covered with ocean. And so as you go out, we have the Great Salt Lake, and that essentially is a remnant of an ancient lake. Well, I shouldn't say an ancient lake. It's a remnant of an ancient ocean where the salt water coalesced in there as the water withdrew over a period of time. And now it's over in, California in the east. But also we have throughout the state, not just at the Great Salt Lake, but throughout the state, there are significant deposits of these mineral-rich mines even that they're mining now and using in a significant way. So those are all things, getting minerals, making sure that you have appropriate detoxification herbals to support your body, making sure that you have a sufficient amount of protein. And then also I like to use hyperoxygenating the cells to make sure that we're clearing any pathogens. And also,
what does hyperoxygenating the cells mean?
So we use food grade hydrogen peroxide to do this, and we water it down when you ingest it. There's instructions in the packet that we've prepared for you at the office. But we use food grade hydrogen peroxide to super oxygenate the cells. One of the first things that the immune system does when it detects a foreign pathogen is it creates peroxisomes. So peroxisomes essentially is like peroxide. Peroxisomes go out, they break down the pathogenic factor, they create a little local inflammatory response. It moves that to the lymphatic system so it can be moved through the lymphatic system, dumped through the gut, and evacuated. Detoxification through lymphatics.
Oh, cool. So hydrogen peroxide helps in that?
Food grade hydrogen peroxide.
Okay. You've got a number of different programs.
So we have different programs, yeah.
For different people but
so different circumstances, situations. Some people like to do, when they're doing detox programs, some people like to include more than just dietary. So the basic is, here's a dietary process. You're going to follow it. It involves a lot of greens. It involves a lot of smoothies. It involves eating your meals still, but making very significant choices, changing the selection of your food, making sure you're limiting or even eliminating, if possible, your exposure to processed, refined carbs and sugars, and especially beginning to read the labels. Read the labels of all of your food to make sure that you're not consuming something that you don't understand.
The principles hydrate, eat clean, move, and support your liver are fundamental to all of these programs? Absolutely.
Yep. And so getting enough water, which is one of the things we talked about at the beginning, we have to make sure that the source of the water that we're getting is either properly filtered or that the source is good and clean, that we trust it, right? Eating clean is a big thing in general for all of them. And again, the idea of eating clean is unprocessed foods, as close to farm to table as possible. Reading the labels if you're going to buy something that's packaged so that you're not getting dyes, you're not getting chemicals in your food that you don't even know what they are. If you don't know or understand what the food is that you're consuming, in my opinion, you shouldn't eat it. And you can go research that compound or research that chemical and find out whether or not you choose to eat it. And that's your choice. That's okay. But at least know what it is that you're eating. I think that's a very important point. Moving, exercising. Remember, we have those areas where we want to encourage the movement of our stools, right? The defecation. We want to encourage the urination. We want to encourage the perspiration. So movement is encouraging the perspiration. We want to exercise. Okay, challenge yourself in a way, physically, lifting. It can be any activity that you choose. Biking. It can even be a water sport. It's hot outside right now.
What about saunas or steam rooms to get you sweating? Is that a good idea?
Yes. Oh, that's brilliant, Nick. And those are things that you can do without having to exert a significant amount of effort as well. Red light therapy can be really beneficial. You can purchase home sauna kits as well, and you can get a significant sweat or perspiration that way. I love contrast therapy. I love doing the cryotherapy and then the sauna, or doing the ice bath and then the sauna. And doing that contrast, I've found, it does a significant favor for joints, for reducing inflammation in the body, for focus, memory, concentration, for helping with cortisol regulation, and in this case, even helping with sleep regulation too. So yeah, all of those things, those are added things. Really, I think the point is, the reason initially when people were asking me and wanted a program, wanted me to put together a detox, and I was resistant to do that, is because I wanted them to follow the lifestyles that would support the organs in their body that would naturally allow them to detox. And that's really the hallmark of living and wellness lifestyle, is that you're living in a way that supports the detoxification methods of your body in general.
So it's less severe. It's more gradual. It's a more natural approach instead of super intense. But sometimes you need the sledgehammer, right?
It's true. Now also consider, one of the reasons too I think about this is there are herbals that we give to people, and there are even medications sometimes people will take, and they will cause disruption in detoxification pathways. So frequently people will take a medicine or a medication and they'll say, oh, it's making me constipated. Well, if something's making you constipated, it's disrupting a detoxification pathway. It's preventing that from happening. But also sometimes things that you take are so aggressive that they deplete the body overly so. So you have to balance this. It has to be balanced. You can't just be pushing a detox constantly in your life. And so I recommend for my patients, if you're considering a detox, the best times to consider a detox, there's 3 to 4 times a year that you would really want to consider a detox. And that's transitioning between seasons. Okay. So we do this at the winter and summer solstice and the spring and fall equinox. So spring and fall equinox are like March 21st and September 21st-ish or 23rd, right around there. And those are the points when the light is equivalent, right? It's the equal day as night. Okay? And so you're transitioning to this period where it's equal day to night, and then you're going to start having more day, or you're going to start in the fall going more night. So your body literally is changing during those periods of time to adapt to a behavior that is more night. It's darker, right? And so literally just like the moon adapt, or the moon has an impact in the waves that we see on the beach. It can influence the tide, right? Just like the planets around us influence the tide and influence the waves on the shore, our cells respond to those gravitational pulls as well. And those gravitational pulls change throughout the year. So it makes sense that we want to be timing our detoxification sessions with those changes, when we're going to be changing from less to more. Okay. So in the summer, you would want to be doing it around June, around June 20th, which is right around where we are right now.
Yeah, okay? So it's good timing.
Yeah, absolutely. So
to do a detox.
Yeah, if you're looking at doing a detox, you want to do a gentle one, you want to do a more aggressive one. We have it incrementally set up here. Here's a packet I'm showing Nick right now.
You have one for folks with cancer.
Absolutely.
Right? Which looks to me like whether that would be more aggressive or not, because I'm looking at some of these
so
things.
Each of them are a little bit different. So the one with cancer focuses a lot on juicing as well. So you're consuming a lot of different types of juices, and we have juicing recipes in there as well for you. But again, the focus is chelation, pulling things out of the body, heavy metals, metals and minerals that might be clumping up or causing toxification within the body. Herbal detox, smoothies, making sure that you're getting rich, green, nutrient-dense foods. And then we also have, so we do have one for patients with cancer, or for patients who are concerned about developing cancer, right? Maybe they've had exposure to radiation, or they work in an area that is closer to potential radiation, right? So depending on a patient's job, a patient's exposure to chemicals, they may want to be doing the cancer detoxification program, even though they don't technically have cancer at the time. Okay, and that's just fine. It's designed for that. There's also, we do a water, or I call it a fasting rotation 21 detox program. So this helps the patients to develop a program or a process within their body of fasting.
Yeah, because I'm looking at like the first week, and you've got water and herbal detox, which is this formula in the morning, Then you do a regular meal at lunch, regular meal at dinner, then the supplement here, and then you say a green smoothie at some point during the day. But then days 8 through 9, so you do the first week, and then days 8 through 9, you have them on a water fast and just one meal a day.
That's right.
So that's so interesting to me.
For 2 days. For 48 hours.
And this is the more gentle detox?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is teaching your body. It's teaching your body to fast. Right? So teaching your body to glean the benefits of detoxification, right? But also to be fasting. Because when we fast, we initiate a process called autophagy. Autophagy in the body is essentially like the sloughing off of what we don't need. And we have to get to at least 12 hours of fasting. If it's like a minimum. Ideally, 14 to 18 hours of fasting is where you want to get to glean the true benefits of autophagy. Okay? So if you don't get to that 12 to 18 hours, if you're not able to get to that point, then you're not really gleaning the most of the benefits that you would be getting in a detoxification fashion from fasting.
So incorporating some intermittent fasting can help you detox in a more sustainable way, if that's part of your lifestyle.
Exactly. Yeah. So it can become part of a lifestyle. You can recognize through this pattern. This is a gentle way of fasting. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Right. So I'm introducing the patient who maybe doesn't fast or hasn't had the history of fasting and would like to begin to understand how to teach their body to fast. It's like you have a full week where there's no fasting in that first full week, really. It's a different way of eating, and you might feel like you're fasting, but you're getting plenty of nutrients.
Yeah.
And then the day 8 and 9, that you're actually fasting.
Because you even program, okay, yep, I gotcha.
And then day 10
day
to 14.
18 and 19, you even give people a green smoothie in their snack window. And so it's interesting. You've programmed it all out.
Yes.
Interesting. So if folks are wondering, is there a program for fasting or detoxing you recommend? You've got it. We've got
it from day 1 to day 22. We've got you all listed out what you should be taking at breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, before bed, any special instructions for the day that I want you to specifically include throughout that day. It's all here. It's in a packet. We can print this off for you as long as we determine that you're a candidate for this type of a detoxification program, then we can set you up with that.
How do you know you're a candidate? Consult with someone?
Don't just guess. Yeah, consult with a doctor, consult with a practitioner that is regulated or that is overseeing your health. And see, because sometimes blood sugar patients are not quite ready for a fasting process. Sometimes they're not ready to actually be doing a fasting window, a blood sugar patient. And this is actually a really good way for blood sugar patients, this 21-day detox fasting process, to begin to test the waters, to dip their toe into, can I prepare my body to be ready for fasting?
And so you talk about it like a blood sugar muscle. Because when I first started working with you,
you have to teach your blood sugar muscle, how to do it.
I would get hungry 2 hours after eating, and sometimes I still do, but like consistently couldn't go more than a few hours without eating. And I've worked my way up, but it's been a muscle I've had to work on the intermittent fasting side. And it's miraculous actually that it's happened, because I didn't think I'd ever get away from the hangry
lack of cravings, no hangriness, like more energy throughout the day, more sustained energy.
Yeah, it depends on the day, right?
And then on occasion, bad days. And on occasion you're like, I'm not feeling really great today, or man, I'm feeling kind of snacky today.
Yeah.
And you can curtail that a little bit, but you can also give into it a little bit and just choose the healthy stuff. Choose to really feed your body the things that are going to support it long term.
I notice that if I'm feeling sick, like I'm fighting off a virus or I'm really tired, I'm craving the carbs and the sugar, the sugary granola in the pantry.
The glucose.
Maybe I give the kids. Yeah, it's like things are just going to give me a boost. So, like I said, haven't figured it all out yet. I'm not in nirvana, nutrition land. I just doing the best I can. But yeah.
Well, that's all right, Nick. I haven't figured it all out yet either.
I remember just seeing fasting.
So thanks for listening to me. I haven't figured it all out, but we're getting there together.
I just couldn't believe people would fast for most of the day, even like it's a miraculous thing.
Right, exactly. It's like you think about 18 hours of fasting, 16. Some people think 12 hours of fasting. When I would speak to my patients initially about fasting, I would say to them, okay, well, how long do you sleep for? And if they sleep 6 to 8 hours, some of them actually slept 10 to 12 hours, and that's pretty impressive, right? But I'm like, okay, well, there's a fast. As long as you don't get up every couple hours and snack, right, then you're fasting. And so first of all is to treat your sleep window as a fasting window, okay? And so you're going into this period of fasting and sleeping. You want to support yourself through that period of sleep. So if you're giving yourself food slightly just before that is nutrient deficient, high carbs, and nutrient depleted food, highly processed, ultra processed, let's say, foods, what's going to happen a few hours into your sleep?
Not good things.
You're going to be hungry.
Yeah.
And maybe even 40 minutes into your sleep, you're going to be hungry. I mean, it's like people will sit down and they'll eat. An hour later, they'll be hungry. Like that doesn't need to happen, right? It shouldn't happen. And so if that's what you're experiencing, well, we need to run a detoxification with you and begin to regulate your blood sugar, build your blood sugar muscle so that your body's able to sustain that energy over a period of fasting. Because it should. You have the capacity, every single living human being on earth has the capability and the capacity to do this. They all do.
Well, and it was things that you taught me about, like eating your veggies first, then your protein, then your carbs, changing some nutritional choices, and then incorporating, for me, apple cider vinegar before meals.
Yes.
And then also you gave me some supplements, I think, that helped with my blood sugar muscle. So that combination, I'm just saying, I'm living proof that it changed.
It works.
And so it worked. I mean, it does work.
Yeah. And this is kind of like, this is the idea of this detox program is like, okay, if I were to like slap someone, if I were to just say, hey, here are a lot of the principles overall in a little 21-day process that I like to practice in general
for detox
in my clinic for life, for lifestyle, right? That like, here's a bunch of concepts that I like to practice in my clinic over time. But we're going to pack it into a 21-day process. That's kind of what these nutritional, I call them a complete nutritional program. So I also don't really like associating with the word detox because, again, I think that's what your organs do. What we're trying to do is support your organs to do the detoxification, okay? And so it's really a complete nutritional program.
It's an organ supporting program.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's all a system working together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're just trying to get the system in order and coming at it from a few different ways or a few different angles. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good for our body to be exposed to healthy foods. That's what we want to be exposing it to. That's what we want to be ingesting is the healthier foods, the nutrient-dense foods, the foods that grew as close to our environment as possible, and those substances that grew in our environment as close as possible, because those are the things that are going to equally sustain us. And just like we talked about the tide, and we talked about the timing of the detoxification process. And just like that, it's like our environment, everything around us affects our body or has an influence on the way our body's performing. And so we want to be consuming things from our environment because it's also undergoing all of the environmental pressures that we're feeling. And it's sustaining life. And so if it has the capacity to sustain life and to undergo the pressures that we're also undergoing because we're in the same environment, then us consuming it is going to literally give us the intelligence, literally give us the skill set, the codes to say this is what you need to survive in this environment.
Man, I want to get some local produce at the farmer's market.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. So I guess I'm not hearing you say you're punishing your body with extreme measures with these detox programs. It's more of a, let's support the organs to do what they're, designed to do.
Yeah, detox does not need to imply aggressive expulsion. Let's put it that way.
I mean, in the cancer detox, I did see kind of a more extreme, like more of a colon cleanse and different. I mean, there's extreme measures.
So colon cleanse is an option with all of them. Hydrocolon therapy is an option with all of them. I do talk about that in all of them. So what you'll see is extra pages here where we say, okay, let's talk about overeating. Let's talk about the timing of your detox, preparing for your detoxification, hydrocolon therapy. I talk about calories and why we shouldn't really be basing our understanding of our health on calories or calories alone. And it's true, sometimes people are not really getting enough calories, right, to sustain themselves. That may be an issue, but over-consuming in a single meal, like overeating, can be a problem even if it's healthy food, because it leads to free radical formation and inflammation in the body, okay? So making sure that we're not overeating or eating exorbitant amounts of at our meals is a good idea, but also making sure that we're consuming the right amount of calories or enough calories to sustain our activity, right? Because we want to be active, to sweat, to promote those detoxification pathways. We talked about, I have information in here, more information on the food-grade hydrogen peroxide and the benefits of it. There's green smoothie recipes. And then also I have juice recipes in there, and then some
you get some recipes in here. I want some of these.
Some food recipes, things that you can make at home. Very basic and simple. It's not like a cookbook or anything like that, but definitely some. And here you see the steam sauna or steam sauna. There's ice baths that we talk about. Exercise, appropriate snacking.
I like this one. Take time to meditate and avoid the news or other emotionally charged settings.
Yes. Such a good recommendation in our modern world, right?
I used to work for the news, and I'm telling you, it was just really charged, bad news most of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to label an entire industry of human beings trying to do their jobs and everything, but it's just not being exposed to that is better for my mental health. And we can have a debate over whether that's disengaging from the world, but this is it was a very difficult environment to be in day in and day out. I think it's just a tough business to be in. And then, we're trying to create stuff that people want to watch, and that's attention grabbing. And so you focus on the most interesting, which is usually the worst thing, and you lead with that. And that's just a constant style. And I could see why that would be hard on people at home who
make it salacious,
obsessive around consuming news. Anyway,
did you know that one of our patients just lost their left leg with detoxification? Okay, was that good?
That was good.
Yeah,
you got a future, kid.
Is it catchy? Okay,
you got this.
All right, I'll stay where I am.
So if we want to know more about these detox programs, how can they contact your office?
So you can call our office. You can reach out to us either via our website, which is chwheber.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or you can call into our office via our phone number. Look us up online, Community Health and Wellness. We're here in Heber, and we're serving all of northern Utah and greater population here in Utah.
And worldwide. Come on now. You do remote.
And worldwide. We do see patients all over Spain and Chile, and we do see patients from all over the world.
Be well now, everybody. Namaste.
Be well now. Namaste.